Today we are going to be focusing on lesson 2 of our brand new module called Myth Making. Before we begin, you should all be in your reading groups next to your reading partners. The guided notes should also be passed out. If you have not yet done this, go ahead and pause the video and transition. Get your notes ready before we begin. Our focusing question for today are: what are myths and why do people create them? Our content framing question: what is happening on pages 4 through 9 in understanding Greek myths? And our objective: repeat after me. I can name characteristics of myths, gods, and goddesses, and how the Greeks honored their gods. So that will be our focus for today. You are going to watch a video that your teacher in the room right now will pull up for you using the link that I provided them. And you will be focusing on your do now on your guided notes. Your do now is saying what characteristics of this building remind you of other buildings you have seen. And what are those buildings? So while you are watching a video about the Parthenon, you're going to see if there's any similar characteristics or features about this building that remind you of other buildings you may have seen. So go ahead and pause the video, this video now, so that you can watch the video of the Parthenon. Alright, now you're going to think, pair, share your answers from the do now. So you all should have thought of your answer. You're now going to stand up and pair with someone, connecting your hands so that I know everyone has a partner. And then you're going to share. Your teacher will then call on certain groups to share their answers with the rest of the class. Do that now. All right, we should all now be back in our seats. Today we're focusing on text features. So text features help us understand what we are reading and can provide us more information. So in some of our books, you will see captions below pictures. Those are describing what is in the picture. Sometimes you'll see those subtitles that are decomposing the story further to help us understand where certain information is. So with your group, you are going to open your book, Understanding Greek Myths, and you are going to read pages 4 through 9 as a group. How you want to split up that reading is up to you, meaning if you just want to read by yourself, you can do that. If you want to popcorn read or go around the table and read, you can do that. Or if you want to elect a strong leader or a strong reader from your group to read those pages to the rest of the group should be tracking along while that person does that. After you are done reading those pages, you're going to work with your groups to answer the questions under the Learn section of your notes. Now, I know we've had this conversation before. Do you think that that means if we're working together that 2 or 3 people are answering all the questions and then we are just copying off of them? No. That means everyone, maybe I'll do number 1. Maybe Ziana will do number 2. Maybe Dorian will do number 3. And then we can come together and share our answers and say, okay, well, I disagree with what you're saying because I'm thinking maybe the best answer would be this. And we're sharing our answers and using those habits of discussion. If your teacher is coming around right now and seeing that there's only one person or 1 or 2 people answering the questions and the rest of the group is waiting for the answers, then this will turn into an independent activity and you will do these questions by yourself. So go ahead and pause the video until this is done. You are going to have 20 minutes to answer these. Your time starts now. All right, our next part of our lesson is our chalk talk. So the teacher will be coming around and be placing a main idea at the center of your table. One person needs to get out an expo marker, and that expo marker will stay at that table. Meaning whenever you're rotating, no one should be taking an expo marker with them. They need to stay at the table that they're at. Whenever your teacher passes out this piece of paper, it is going to be a main idea from the pages that we just read. So pages 4 through 9. With your group, you will look for supporting details for this main idea, and you will write these supporting details on the table surrounding the prompt. So if my main idea is myths are stories with special characteristics, those supporting details would be, okay, well, what are some special characteristics about myths? What do all myths have? Okay, well, I know that they have, sorry guys, I know that they have monsters in them. So I would write monsters on the table next to that main idea. That is what your Chalk Talk will look like. Your group will have 3 minutes, and then you will rotate to a new table and answer the prompt there, adding any more supporting details that you may find. You're going to do a total of 3 rotations with your group before transitioning back to your regular reading group assigned seats. So go ahead and pause the video now and have fun with your Chalk Talk, guys. All right, to end our lesson for today, I hope that all of you had a successful Chalk Talk, and I can't wait to see some of the answers from the Chalk Talk. I hope that you guys were collaborating using those habits of discussion. We are going to now have a group discussion. Just to recap some of the things that we may have read. You are going to answer these as a group with your reading group, discuss those questions, and then answer it on your guided notes. Make sure you are practicing those habits of discussion, guys, especially the build on technique. So remember, building on is adding extra information to what someone already said. So let's say my question was, what are myths? That's not one of your questions, so that's why I'm using it as an example. Let's say I answered the question by saying myths are stories. Well, okay, that's true, but somebody could build onto that. So then let's say that Araceli is in my group. Araceli could then say, I would like to build on to what Miss Jessica said, because myths are stories, but they are special stories that also contain gods and goddesses, and they're told from word of mouth. So they're not written down, they're mostly told by speaking. Okay, well now let's say that Consuelo, she wants to build on. I would like to build on to what Miss Jessica and Araceli said, because myths also have heroes, or they will explain how things came to be. So I hope you're seeing how I'm using that build on technique. I'm not just repeating what the other person is saying, but I'm adding more details. So you guys are going to have 15 minutes to answer these questions with your group. After you are done, you will come together. These guided notes will be turned in, and then you guys will complete an exit ticket. I hope that you guys had a good day. I hope to be back next week and to see you soon.